This is an NRL Fantasy Q&A brought to you by the Hills Cricket Academy, the place to be for all of your cricket practice, coaching, and fast bowling, machine bowling, and the net sort of needs there. So that's the Hills Cricket Academy. They're the best place to be in the Hills if you're based in Sydney. Obviously brought to you by Benny Trebojevic as well, our Lord and Savior, the guy for us. So look, brand new segment. We're going to be going through Q&A here. These are all questions that were sent through on Instagram. I've collated these. We're going to go through these in one video here. You can see your username there as well, so check it out when you get your answer. I want to give a quick shout out to Beyond the Buzzer as well, who has joined our memberships program too, where we give more one-to-one sort of fantasy advice as well. So you can see that. I think it's below here. If not, it's on our profile and memberships. So let's get right into this. First one here is from Bo. Bo's been around for a long time. I've actually seen Bo even when we were getting 200 views a video. So I remember you, Bo. Thoughts on Drinkwater? Drinkwater's risky. So Drinkwater's a guy that we were able to get for sub 500k last year. If you buy him now, you're buying him at full price, and I don't like that strategy. He could go well to start the year, but there's some other wing fullbacks that are a bit more undervalued. So for me, Drinkwater's a skip. Next question. Why is Curran not starting from Tom Burnsy? Look, why isn't Curran starting is a really good question from you. So all the fantasy coaches were really excited for Curran to start because he averages 55 when he plays lock. We can get a bit one-dimensional sometimes. So we can look at it and sort of go, hey, we want this guy to start, so he's going to start. Coaches don't think the same way as us. They're probably looking at that and they're thinking, hey, we have a bit of a one-dimensional attack at the Bulldogs right now. We need a lock that is going to be more of a ball player, and who better than Jamin Salmon to play that role, who is kind of a half in nature, but is a bit of a nuggety guy. So they're just trying to add more dimensions to their attack. I'd say they're thinking that Josh Curran is more of a prop, where Kurt Mann will come on to rest Jamin Salmon. Morgan Smithies, starting lock is the next question here. So for Smithies, yeah, I don't mind it. He's risky, but he could be a good option. I like that gamble if you think he's got the talent. Just go watch some footage on him, see if you like it. Lukey, a good choice. Lukey is the best choice. Lukey is such a good choice. 495k, really good fixtures. He averages 55 when he plays 60-plus minutes. He's that guy, right? He's going to be really good. Drew Hutchison or Foran? Hutchison over Foran all day. Foran's been the same guy for so long. No fantasy upside. Hutchison could do it potentially, but they're both kind of dodge. Hutchison over Foran. Hosking could score really well for 3 to 4 weeks and then get dropped, or he could potentially play well enough to win that spot. If Hosking wins the spot long term, which is going to be hard because Ricky likes Whitehead, then he's an absolute gun. But it is like a 20% chance that works. So it's a gamble. If you back the talent, go with Hosking. I'm personally not going to do it. What do you think of Joe Chan? And before we go into this too, I give you guys my answers. If you think a different way to me, I'm wrong all the time. Like every single expert is wrong all the time. We're just making our calls. We're making our calls on the stats, on the odds that we see. But we are wrong all the time. And the way you win is by making your own call. So if I say no to Hosking, but you think he's a great player and he's going to win that spot, go do it. Don't listen to me. But I'll just share all the information that I do have. So next one here. What do you think of Joe Chan? I think Joe Chan is a bit of a trap, potentially, unless he comes out and really kills it. I think Sean Bloor could sneak into that team on the bench. He could potentially sneak in and take that spot in round 2. There's some other guys floating around the team as well that could steal minutes. Look, you can't not have Joe Chan at 261k. We're all going to have him, but keep an eye on team lists. Make sure you're watching the NRL app 45 minutes before the game. Go check in that game specifically and check the team lists or the player stats, depending on whatever it's called, and you can see the team list changes. Next one. Please list all cash cows under 300k, best to worst. That is a big request for a Q&A. I went through previous video, winners, losers on team lists. I was thinking called it buy, hold, sell, risky, whatever it was. But that was a video I posted today as well. So just go check that out. There's a lot of those guys there. Chan or Salmon is the next question. Salmon's going to keep the role for longer, so I'd go Salmon. Keeney or Adokar? Keeney over Adokar all day. So Keeney is a 55 average in reserve grade. I think he averages 44 in first grade, but he's got some pedigree. Adokar is priced at what he is. Next set, what to do about backup hooker? Cry, mostly. There's not much there. I don't like Danny Levi. You can get 2 gun hookers. Right now, I have 1 hooker in my team, and it's Reece Robson, but Harry Grant's good too. I wouldn't be too desperate to buy another hooker. If you need another hooker later, you can go buy one, right? Just get 1 hooker. Do you think Joe Chan will play decent minutes? How many games? No, I don't think so, but you have to buy him anyway, just in case he does. At 261k and with so few cash cows on the board, there's no choices here. Is Hosking a good pickup? Yeah, we talked about that one. I think he's interesting. Is this count run by Clarkey? No, no. So I'm the fantasy guy. Only fantasy. That's sort of my thing. We talk a bit of footy, but mostly fantasy. Would Danny Levi be a good option for second hooker as he's cheap? He's a starting hooker and he's 280k. So kinda, yeah. But I think Starling will play 50 minutes off the bench. And I think that means Danny Levi plays about 30 minutes. So I would be pretty confident he plays under 40 minutes a week. For Levi, I'm skipping him, but you can get him. He'll be a slow burn. If he scores a try or two, he'll really accelerate. Chan with the pickup, talked about that. Sorry, I've been talking a lot today. Help, any suggestions, please? Look, just back yourself. Back yourself. If you're totally clueless, there are some videos we've made where we go through sort of the best players at each position. We go through the buyers, cash cows. The general tip is if they have a green dot they're playing, don't have any red dots in your team. Little red icon next to them. And if you like someone, pick them, right? And if you're not sure about a player, go drop it in the comments here. Guys, try to help each other out in the comments actually below as well. I've seen a few of you guys really helping people. I try to get to all the comments too, but at the end of the day, if you're not sure, you're going to learn by making these picks. And if you back yourself, you're going to learn a lot faster than if you just sort of copy someone else. So my suggestion is to have a crack, do your best. Don't hold yourself. Don't judge yourself too bad. We're all just doing our best. And if it works out, awesome. If it doesn't work out, try to figure out why it didn't work out. So you go look at the stats. So if it's a forward, go look at their run meters, go look at their tackles, things like missed tackles, things like tackle breaks, these kinds of things, and then compare them to the guys who scored well. And you'll start to see the trends where, you need your hooker to be making sort of 40, 50 tackles a game. And maybe your hooker that you picked is making 30, right? So just trying to identify that sort of thing, try and learn. And we'll make a lot of strategy videos this year. Chan, Hughes, Drinkwater, good additions. So Hughes is the only one we haven't talked about there. Hughes is good. Go get Hughes. He'll get minutes. Levi, 30 plus points. I don't think so. What to do with wing fullback? I've got Tedesco, Pappenhausen, Keeney, and I've got Kotrick on the bench. And no, wait. I've got Rapana. Sorry, Keeney's on my bench too. So yeah, Rapana, I do like. We made a video about the buys out of team lists. I think Rapana averaging 49 at fullback is good enough for me to take that gamble at 480k. Thoughts on Flegler? Flegler is value, but not crazy value. So you'll get sort of 7 points of value out of him. You're not going to go wrong there. It's not a bad pick. It's pretty safe. But just don't overreact to anything. He's a bit like Totola. Like they're sort of similar value picks. How many minutes do you think Joe Chan gets? I don't know. Is Hutchison a buy? I talked about that. Reed Marnie, likely to play 80 minutes. Is he a decent backup hooker? He missed a lot of tackles last year. Actually, more than anyone last year. And I'm a Para fan, so obviously, where are they? There we are. Yeah, so obviously I'm a big Reed fan as well. He could bounce up. Guys like Reed Marnie, Wade Egan in particular, they have the potential to sort of bounce up to a bit of a higher tier. I'm a bit met on him. I'd probably rather get Coruscant if I was going to get a backup hooker, just with the goal kicking and with the minutes he's going to get. Adam Elliott should get more minutes than he did last year. Is he major value? The bench is pretty dicey. Kai Pearce-Paul being on the bench as well. He'll get minutes, whether he plays lock, a bit of middle. I'm not that inspired by Adam Elliott personally. Cleese Haas worth a shot? I don't think so. He's a good player, but I think he only plays about 4 games. Titans have a bye in round 2 as well, so it's not great for him. Yeah, overall, I just don't think at 415k, it's not worth it. If he was 200k or even 300k, I'd look at it, but 415 is really, really tough to swallow. Finafuyaki, 272k. Finafuyaki is not going to get major minutes, I don't think, unless he plays middle. But Nanai and Lukey don't need much for rest. Finn Fuyaki is one of those guys that you watch him, and if there is an injury or a suspension to one of the starting edge back rowers, bang, we are on that. Until then, I'm not into it. Do you reckon Danny Levi will get the minutes hooker? Nah, not really. Your team reveal. I gave you guys a reveal last week, and then I changed my team about 800 times after that. I'll give you another reveal this week, but the problem is I'm changing my team as the app is locking. Like I'm very sporadic with this. So yeah, I'll give you guys a team reveal shortly before games, but it will change. It will change a lot. Fogarty, is he still a good option? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Fogarty sort of he's got a bit quiet lately, so people aren't as keen, but he's still sort of that guaranteed 50 plus average for you. Strange being his halves partner does not hurt him at all. And then Levi, meh, wing fullback. We talked about this. Penasini or Lukey. Lukey, I like Lukey. We're pretty covered at center right now with Ben Trbojevic playing really well and Strange being a half. Keeney or Rapana. I have both. Look, Rapana is that guy, but you might have to trade Rapana out. There's a bit of risk to both of these guys. I think Rapana's got big upside, but Keeney, if he held the spot for longer, would be one of the biggest cash outs of the year. So what I'm thinking with him is you're only guaranteed 2 games out of Keeney. That's risky, but he's a big fantasy producer. And the Titans, they have injuries all the time. Jaden Campbell, it's tough coming into the year injured. Maybe he comes in. Maybe he takes a bit longer to come in. That's kind of the gamble I'm taking there. What is a good replacement for people who have got Hands or Lussick? He's got Robson. You're the same as me, Robson and Hands or Lussick. I would just not go for a hooker. Just go for someone else. Who are good wing fullback options to that? And McKaylee from the Cowboys, is he a good pick even though he's not on the bench? That's actually such a good question. So Cam Bach, really good question. I don't believe in buying guys who aren't in the team round 1 unless there's some suspension or something like that. But if a guy hasn't been picked in round 1, what are you going to do? Are we hoping that the Cowboys lose to the Dolphins in round 1 and then make a change out of that? If they come in and win that game big, which I think they should do, they're just the stronger side, then they're not going to change the roster. They're going to stick with that. So no, I wouldn't be picking McKaylee. I'd skip him. Anyway, that's Q&A. Let me know if you like this sort of thing. We can. I'm thinking of moving this particular video to a live video instead, and we could have a weekly spot, like a weekly time where we actually do this together. But these were all just questions from Instagram. So we do a lot of Q&A and a lot of voting and polls and that kind of stuff on Instagram too. So make sure to follow over there. It's a lot more interactive, a lot more chatty. But yeah, let me know what you think. If there are any videos you want to see or any stuff you want us to cover, we're happy to do it. Me, Biz, Rob, Bergs, all the guys. We just love footy and fantasy. So we love doing this with you. And yeah, best of luck with your season, guys. Peace out.